So I'm here, right here in Johnston County, more specifically Kenly, North Carolina, and I'm here to talk about a little known case that didn't get much coverage, and the death of Niz'Jahlik Dublin is very mysterious and happened under suspicious circumstances. Now, it was right here, this very spot, on March the 18th, nearly 6 months, exactly 6 months to the day, that Mr. Dublin Niz'Jahlik, better known as Nigel, lost his life on these tracks. Now, investigators of Kenly in the police department ruled that his death was a suicide. They said that Nigel came and laid on the tracks and committed suicide. Now, we know from history that seems kind of suspicious. First of all, there's not too many black men who are going to lay on train tracks and commit suicide. But what also comes to mind is the death of Emmett Till, who was laid on the train tracks, and they said he committed suicide, but later was found out that members of the Ku Klux Klan killed him. And also, if you ever seen the movie Malcolm X, the same thing happened to his father. He was laid on the train tracks, and they say he committed suicide. And it was later found out once again that the Ku Klux Klan killed him. Now, I mentioned those two in regards to Nigel's death because if you ever know the history of Johnston County, Johnston County has been notable for its Ku Klux Klan history. Now, in the 70s, the late 70s, early 80s, there was a big sign that entered Smithfield, which is the next county over in Johnson County. Entering Smithfield, there was a sign that says, "Welcome to Smithfield. You are now entering Klan country." Now, this is less than, about 30 or 40 years ago that sign still was posted up. Now, also, Kenly has made national news within the past couple of months because their entire police department walked out of or resigned from their position because the town manager, Justine Jones, she was uncovering some of these things that are suspicious in this county. I think the police chief and all of his officers actually walked out and left the city to this day without a police department. That made national coverage. So I spoke with a member of the city government yesterday in confidence, and he told me a lot of what she was trying to uncover. It wasn't just the spirit of racism that these white officers didn't want to work for the black lady, but it was the things that she was uncovering that caused them to say, okay, we're gonna be out of here. So and there's a lot of things that Nigel's death or Niz'Jahlik's death has not been answered because, once again, the police are no longer there, but also because of, once again, the spirit of the county. And I'm here with Niz'Jahlik's mom, Miss Tonya Neal, and she gave me some information about his death. Once again, he was reportedly laying on these tracks right here when he was struck by a train. Now, right here, you see the memorial right here where they said that Nigel landed. Now, Nigel landed, he was struck, back here, he landed right there. So physics and science will tell you that if someone's laying on a train track, the train will mangle their body or run them over, flatten them, right? There's no way if you're laying on the train tracks that the train will pick you up and hurl you 154 feet away. That's one inconsistency that, once again, investigators can't explain. But also, there's a film of the Amtrak recording. The Amtrak who struck Mr. Dublin and led to his death. There's film of that once again the police have, but no one can get the footage because the police have already left the post, and there's some encryption that Miss Neal is not able to get that footage. Now, the Amtrak officer also contradicted two stories. He gave two different accounts of that night as well. There's information about one of the officers who had problems with Nigel walking around showing the footage of the dead man's body. There is no upper body damage. There's only lower body damage to Mr. Nigel. He has actually some stars on his face and his hands as defense wounds. So there's a lot of information about this case that leads me to believe that there's some, mysterious or foul play within this instance. So I'm here with his mother, Miss Neal. We're actually trying to get some coverage for the story. We're going to be sharing, she's going to be sharing the intricate details Tuesday night on the U-Turn show, which is on 106.9 FM Greenville. It's going to be broadcast live through Facebook and YouTube on Taylor House Publishing. So if you have an opportunity to check the show out, please check the show out, because we're just trying to get some coverage. Now, this happened 6 months ago, and I didn't know anything about this. A lot of people don't know anything about this, but this is something that should be nationally known, because once again, there is no explanation how someone with everything to live for would just come and lay down on these tracks. And with the history, once again, of Kenly, North Carolina, Johnston County, and a lot of these, rural North Carolina, eastern North Carolina towns, we know that history is, somewhat nefarious in these circumstances. So if y'all have a chance, y'all tune into the show Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Miss Neal is going to give much more details about this and why she feels that, something foul had happened to her son. And so if you guys check this out, we will be tuning in once again 8 p.m. the U-Turn show this Tuesday the 20th. And since it is, getting late, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of Kenly, before the sun goes down, because anybody knows about these sundown towns. I'm not from here, but yeah, y'all check us out, man, so we can, shed light on this situation amongst many others. Y'all tune in. Thank y'all for tuning in.